Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am super thrilled to have Ethan Bost over there, Ethan D. Bost, let me be clear, over there with us today. How are you today, Ethan?
Man, I'm outstanding. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I had the lovely privilege of talking with your wife, Nikki, in the background for a little while prior to your arrival. So I'm super excited to even get to meet your other half, which is definitely the better half, I'm sure, in my opinion.
Man. Absolutely.
You
got it right.
Imagine both of y'all are great. So halves. That's what I'll say. Equal halves.
Awesome, man. I love it.
It's a pleasure. So I know Nikki had another meeting, but is there anything she wanted to pop her head in and say before she goes to her meeting?
Oh man, she gave me the high five and the pat and the smack. So hey, we ready to go.
You got to tag your head. Right?
Bam. Yeah.
You know what? The thing I love about that already, Ethan and Nikki, is that you all are using such great teamwork. And I'm going to pop this picture up right from the beginning, everyone. Here are some pictures that I saw back here, and I want to make sure that that's your wife right there, right?
That's her. One and only.
So Nikki, it was again a pleasure to speak with you backstage. And throughout today's conversation, everyone, as you grab your seat, part of what we'll be talking about from a balance perspective is how do you even balance life when you're doing business with your spouse? And in this case, both Ethan and Nikki work together right there from the comfort of their home, but then they also have their own roles and responsibilities. So we're going to get a chance to hear even some of that as well. But as we talk today, Ethan and Nikki have their own business that is located in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And their goal is to help people save more money, make more money, plan for the future, and build generational wealth. So you're in for a treat today, everybody, as you share this broadcast that's tuning in. And so, Ethan, in a nutshell, if you could just tell everybody what they can actually expect to hear from you today for the most part.
Absolutely. Well, I think, one of the biggest things that is when it comes to financial education and concepts, I know for myself personally, and most of the people that I talk to and, that we serve, a lot of times they don't get that type of financial information. Oftentimes we have to go through as we say, the school of hard knocks. And so to be able to get information that in some cases a person would think is over my head, or, oh my God, that's more sort of hard for me to understand, to know that this information, does not have to be that intimidating. And it can absolutely, upon applying those concepts, can absolutely change our lives and really set our families up for the next generations to come. So that's just what our hope is, that people understand that this information doesn't have to be something that you shy away from, but it is, as you say, relevant, relatable, and things that you can actually sort of get into bite-sized pieces.
That's really good, y'all. So as you all have questions throughout today's conversation, feel free to pop them in the comments section and see if we can get Ethan to answer them right while we are here on the broadcast. It's like a free consultation, so do not miss the opportunity to tag your friends and to invite people to ask their pressing questions pertaining to financial management. Now, with you, Ethan, it's interesting to me when people go into this particular field of study, and it had to come from somewhere. If you would just take us back and let us know, when did you even develop a passion for this interest in financial management?
Yeah, it's interesting that you asked that, Kim. It's funny. If you would have, told me years ago that I would be in the industry when it comes to life insurance and some of the things that we're blessed to do, man, I don't know if I would have been like, nah, I think you missed it. You have your sights on a whole lot of other things, of course, but as I was working, I would say years before I got started in the industry. I was working at, Lowe's and home improvement with the intention of, moving, climbing up that ladder that we're often so taught. Right. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job. I think everybody out there know that whole nursery rhyme and everything. And so in pursuing that, you realize that, man, wait a minute, this ladder that they told me that I was supposed to climb was leaned up against the wrong building the whole time. Like, whoa, when I finally got there, I'm like, well, wait a minute. You're seeing people working 60, 78 hours a week, having heart attacks, marital challenges. I'm newly married, all those different things. Just had I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, this ain't what they told me, Mm-hmm. So I found myself wanting more, overworked, underpaid, wanting more. And then, I was blessed for this information to sort of come across my path by a gentleman when I was actually at Lowe's, guys that sort of gave me an introduction into the business, the guy, Danny Rodriguez. And man, when I saw it for the first time, I had been exposed to it actually prior though. And I had a, not so great experience with it based off of how it was presented to me the first time. And so for years, I didn't want nothing to do with the company. And then I was just at a very unique place, pivotal place in my life of, the valley of decision, if you will, to where, hey, I can continue to do what I'm doing here. Right. We already know, like the Matrix, we already know where that road is going to end, Neo. or we could do something different. And so we chose to do something different.
Well, that's interesting that you said finding yourself with your ladder up against the wrong building. I've never heard it said that way. So yeah. I really appreciate how you just shared that analogy, and it gave me a vivid illustration of what that looks like. You think you're doing the right thing, you doing what you've been taught to do, and actually you're seeing some results in what you're doing. It's not like you being up against this building didn't yield some phenomenal results in your life.
Right.
And that's why you're as successful as you are. But when you realize or come into the knowledge of the truth that particular ladder shouldn't be on that particular building, it changes everything for you, right?
It changes everything.
So I'm trying to determine for people that are watching today, how do they determine if their ladder is up against the wrong building?
The late Dr. Miles Monroe has a very prolific, just his content is incredible anyway.
Always.
But there are some things that just sort of leap out over the years. And one of the things that I heard him say is that God gives us fulfillment without frustration. Okay. And I think one of the biggest things that we have to grapple with if a person is in whatever industry they're in, when we look in the grand scheme of things, does it give some form of fulfillment? Mm-hmm. And is it impacting people to be better? Am I uplifting people in the process? Because if I'm doing something that's malevolent and it's, destroying people, then obviously we know God is definitely not in that at all. Right. We don't even have to even grapple with that. We know. But is there fulfillment with it? And then most importantly, when it comes to from a financial perspective, when it comes to me being able to take care of my family and things like that, are there goals and dreams that God has put in my heart? And if I continue doing what I'm doing, will it get me there?
Love it.
I think that's one of the biggest, it's almost like a enlightening to, whoa, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm not going to get to where I'm supposed to be. So it's
kind of goes with insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, but then at the end of the day, expecting a different result. We're not going to get a different result, no matter how you slice it, because you keep doing the exact same thing. So something has to be done differently.
Has to be changed. I mean, because we look at it statistically. I saw a stat the other day that says 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Right, 70%. So there's roughly 360 million people or something like that in the United States. Out of 100 people that start working at the age of 25 to 65, only 5 of them will be okay financially. 95 fail in that system that we've been taught to function in since the time we're literally knee-high to a grasshopper, as they say.
Right.
We're taught this whole thing, and we know statistically based off the numbers that only 5 are going to be successful. So
it's crazy.
I think part of the enlightenment process is disturbing people.
Yes.
Because truth be told, we don't move until we're disturbed.
That's so true. And that goes back. Well, let me look. I looked at the statistic too. 300, according to 2022, which I'm sure is increased at this point,
Sure.
but it's 333.3 million people in the United States alone.
Right.
And then you're saying how many people are?
70%. 70%.
That is unbelievable.
So it's almost hard to believe, but
it is.
I think we, because of the sporting arenas and the different things that we go through in our lives,
Mm-hmm.
it sort of dulls us down to we don't really understand how bad it is.
Yeah.
Right. Like, we was talking about, my barber and I, about the different things. We got all these pleasant distractions, in some cases, unpleasant distractions. We know all this going on in the media,
Yeah.
from the baby oils to all the other stuff. We got the election. There's so many things that comes at us. There's so much information coming at us. And oftentimes those are just simple distractions to keep us from just accepting where we are.
Yeah.
But the reality is we don't have to accept this as our end all.
That's some good stuff. I'm tagging different people. I want you all to tag people too, because I'm telling you, this is a great topic that we're discussing today. And we don't have to be stagnant. We don't have to be with our ladder up on the wrong building. If we can come into the knowledge of the truth, then we can walk therein. And Maya Angelou said something that was so profound over her years. And obviously she's resting with the Lord.
Yes.
But the thing is, she said, yes, do the best that you can. Do the best that you can.
Yeah.
But once you know better, then my God, start doing better. And that's what we're learning today from Ethan D. Bost, is how to do better. And am I saying your last name right, Bost?
It's actually Bost. It's actually Bost.
I'm like, don't let me say it wrong the whole show. You're so gracious. You're like, but I'm like, I'm saying this right, Bost. Ethan D. Bost. And so to be able to have him here today, we are going to learn some great techniques and tips as well. One of the topics that I was researching is Primerica, which I know that you are a regional leader with Primerica. And they have over 2,000. They have 2,000 corporate employees, mm-hmm. and over 141,000 licensed representatives, and that's in the United States, Puerto Rico, and Canada. They were founded on February 10th, 1977, with a focus being on helping middle-income families. So when we come back after this commercial break, Ethan, I would love for you to talk to us about what made you settle into the Primerica family. So ready to hear about that as soon as we take a brief commercial break. We'll be right back, everyone.
Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you, as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to eWomenNetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community.
All right, everyone, we are back and we're talking with Ethan Bost. Instead of Bost, it's Bost. Like, so you done bossed up is what that's like the perfect name for you, right? I love it. Listen, if you all are in the Charlotte and surrounding areas and you have not attended our eWomen Network events for business women entrepreneurs, and a lot of men come to because women are their clients, you are welcome to go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. Our events are held at the Charlotte Museum of History on the third Thursday of each month. So go ahead and register. We have a speaker coming in from Colorado Springs, and we'd love for you to be here to talk about doing delegation right on this particular one. And she's epic with her presentation. So make sure you be in the house. So listen, Ethan.
Yes.
Talk to us about why, out of all of the different financial management programs you could have selected, that you chose Primerica.
Great question, man. I get it all the time. For me, when it comes to origins and things like that, is super, super important. Integrity, truthfulness,
yes,
things like that. And I'm such that I'm wired. If it's something I can't believe in and understand, feel purpose behind it, obviously in my connection with my faith, then I'm not, wronging people, then I can't be affiliated with it at all.
That's right.
And the actual reason the company got started, initially going even back to A.L. Williams, our founder Art Williams, was to correct an injustice.
Okay.
His father died of a heart attack, sold too little of life insurance and a whole life policy. And years later, at a family function, he came to the discovery with a cousin that was a CPA. That his mother and father could have actually gotten 3 times the coverage, substantially more, 150,000 of coverage for the same money they were spending for the 50,000.
Okay.
After her working 2 and 3 jobs, trying to make ends meet, the whole dynamic, and it literally, his exact words are, it was like lightning just went through his body, because he realized, like, whoa, wait a minute, the agent sold this product to my family. They own term on themselves, so they weren't even selling and offering to others what they themselves had.
Interesting.
He decided from that moment that he would create a company to correct the injustices that are happening in the life insurance industry and are happening still to this day.
That is a great story. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what runs through a Primerica's vein, is the crusade of correcting and adjusting, righting a wrong, making sure that families, those that we love and care about, are no longer taken advantage of in the industry. And so when that grabbed me, and then I had a chance to objectively look at the company for what we do, which is right for the consumer, man, they couldn't pay me to go to another company. Lady Kim couldn't pay me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a very heartwarming story. And so people can connect with you, because I want people to know at beginning, middle, and end how they formally connect with you. And listen, if you're connecting with Ethan, let him know that Kim Jacobs referred you. You heard him on the Kim Jacobs show, so he at least knows where the source is coming from, and maybe he'll give you some. It's okay. But listen, how can people connect with you so that they can get any consultation and learn if they're a good fit for Primerica?
Absolutely, man. Well, of course, as you see the information there, on your screen there, is my direct contact number, of course, office location, which are actually based out of the Columbia marketplace, but actually we reside here and have a footprint here in the Charlotte metro area. So, and then of course, through the links there, and my social media, I'm there on the gram. As the young people say, Lady Kim, old school Facebook, man, for my 40 and,
For the 40 plus, right?
Yeah, 40 plus. There you go. The
thing is, I have also audio listeners that will hear this and they will not see this video. So that's why I always just reiterate some of the key pieces. So how do they stay connected with you on social media itself?
Absolutely. Okay.
Ethan D. Bost.
So Yes, Ethan D. on Ethan D. Bost. Yep, on Facebook, of course. My direct contact number there, 704-400-0123, of course. And for those that are my emailers, ebost@primerica.com. And so you can reach me on those channels there as well.
Yes. And Bost is spelled B-O-S-T for those that are over there on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google, and all of the Google Music, Amazon Music, all of those listening, wherever you get your audio downloads, you can get the Kim Jacobs Show. So if you're not a person that watches videos, know that this is also an audio podcast, and it's available on all of your listening devices as well. So if you haven't subscribed to the Kim Jacobs Show in that capacity, take a moment to do so also. All right. So you actually believe that money, there's like a specific way that money works. You're like, okay, money works a specific way. And not everybody understands, because we don't all understand the nuances when it comes to maneuvering and handling and managing money. What is the way that makes money work from your perspective?
The biggest point is understanding. We actually have oddly enough, an actual publication called How Money Works. And when you really think about it, I know for most people, money doesn't come with instruction, just almost like almost everything, obviously we know with the scripture, but I'm saying how to make it grow, all those different things. And so I think the biggest part of that process is the whole financial education and financial literacy concept, and knowing, the ins and outs of it. And so, I'm a founder, when we created the How Money Works publication, it was designed to educate people on concepts that in most cases that they're not teaching us in the school systems. We talk about, the rule of 72, the factor of, your money doubling. If, you have an interest rate, one goes into the number 72 times, which means it's going to take 72 years for my $1 to become $2. Now that's in investing, that's a mortgage, that's credit cards.
Right.
And it's like when we don't know that we don't know, those things alone can stymie our even progression when it comes to money, having it, keeping it, etc.
Interesting. So there's a whole guide over on the Primerica website, primerica.com. I'm gonna put it here for the public. You can actually go and research that. People should go to your website. I'm not gonna put the Primerica because I want people to
they can actually reach directly
to the right sources with by going right to livemore.net/BOST. So if you go to livemore.net/BOST, then Ethan is going to connect you with all of the resources that you need pertaining to navigating through Primerica. And if you haven't heard his presentation one-on-one, it is a presentation that you should definitely take a moment and just take 15-30 minutes out of your day. And this information may be a game changer for how you chart the rest of your life financially. So make sure you take a moment. Hey, you can pay me later, Ethan, over here. I'm becoming an agent, right?
All right, man, I see you. You're looking great over there, man. Look, we might have to have a conversation now. Wait a minute.
Like, this is crazy, right? I'm becoming an agent, even though I'm only hosting the show. No, but it's really a gift to be able to help connect people to the right resources. So with you being a representative and a regional leader, how do you get people? Because Primerica can't do everything. So how do you make sure that you connect them to the right sources? Is that something that you do as well?
So the beautiful thing about the platform, we have the resources, of such an amazing company that, Primerica provides us. You mentioned it earlier. There's 2,000 people there at the home office that their sole job is to assist us in the field. And one of the things I would like to, say, the logo that we have as a company are 3 rings. Most people think of them as the Olympic rings or whatever, but those rings represent the client, the home office, and the sales force, right? And those things are all interlinked. And so when it comes to what we do, our mentality is that it is a win for the consumer, a win for the sales force, and win when it comes to the customer service in terms of the home office piece. And if there's not an alignment in all 3 of those areas, then we don't want no parts in it. Even the companies that are on our platforms and the things that we represent. But at the end of the day, this is, our ability to build our business and build our brand. So part of, it is meeting people, connecting with people within your natural markets, getting out in the community, obviously what we're doing here.
Can I show the 3 rings? Because I don't want to show it without permission. Am I allowed to show the 3 rings?
Sure.
Okay. because I think that it, well,
There you
kind of,
go.
well, on
Yeah.
on a blank background, but I love the 3 rings. And you say those 3 rings represent what again? Say what they
So
represent.
they represent obviously the consumer, of course, the client, the home office, as well as the sales force as well. And those things are interlinked in terms of a connectedness and really unity, because at the end of the day, we serve people, right? We help people, and again, if it's not a win, 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 then we don't want any parts with it.
I love it. And so when you serve these people, I know you're in the Charlotte area, but this show, for example, is in 100 countries and 300 something million households. Is it limited as to where you can personally serve these people, or do they need to reach out to you and then you connect them to their managers in their regions? How does that process work?
Right. Well, as you mentioned, United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, of course, we're, fully functioning there in those areas.
Right.
My biggest thing is assuming a person does not have an actual representative, that they're actually partnered with. Right. We don't get into those things, man. We believe in, doing things the right way, of course, but yeah, if there's someone there and they don't have someone that they're currently that's currently servicing them, things like that, then hey, man, we're open and here to serve. And with the virtual world, I mean, it has just literally, I grew up in an era in Primerica where we were kneecap to kneecap to clients, personally, in the across the kitchen table. Now we're able to do what we do from a virtual platform, and it's absolutely amazing how many more people we can actually help across, in various other states.
That's good. So you all heard it. You don't have to be limited to just the Charlotte area. If you want to connect, and we hope you will connect with Ethan Bost, then you can definitely reach him and use all of the different methods of communication. And he'll do a free gifted consultation with you. So it's no cost for you to get an analysis to determine if you're a good fit for the programs that he's offering. Now, a lot of people, Ethan, are very concerned about dealing with multi-level marketing companies.
Yes.
I have no idea really what the stigma or the issue is, because I've been a part of many multi-level marketing companies, and they work if you work them, like a job. If you work your job, your job's going to hopefully work for you.
Absolutely.
So how can you just dispel any myths or theories when it comes to multi-level marketing, and not just about Primerica, but just overall in the world, people have that issue.
It's gosh, this is a great question. J. Paul Getty, billionaire, whatever, has a quote that circulates in the industry, is that I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. I think that's part of, Lady Kim, I hate to say it, the indoctrination programming, truth be told, because we are okay with going out for, think about this, till we're 65 years old.
Go ahead, preach, brother Bost.
Best of who we are to a company that really cares nothing about us, right? And then we're supposed to retire off of 40% of what we couldn't live off 100% when we were with children, etc. But yet somebody presents the ability for you to compound your efforts through multiplication, through duplication, through replication, and we want to label it a pyramid, right? So I think a lot of it is just helping people to really understand, when it comes to this, what is in general, what it is. I like to let people know Primerica is a hybrid, right? We have general agency when it comes to insurance, but we have multi-compensation, similar to like a real estate brokerage. Nobody has a problem with a broker having an office, a broker having agents to sell houses. And if that broker is on vacation and they have, 20, 30 agents, 100 agents, 1,000 agents, and that agent go out and sell a house, that broker gets paid even though they're not there. Nobody has an issue with that, do they?
Nope. Not at all.
Not at all. Primerica is the exact same way. We have a broker, which is a regional vice president that runs and owns the office that is responsible for that office. Okay. The agent works up under the broker, has no kind of commitments, financial obligations. They don't have to worry about paying for the overhead for the office. That's the regional vice president's position. And all I can have to do is focus on developing and bringing the people, developing a client base. And my vice president provides me the tutelage, the mentorship, and all the resources for me to build an incredible business, spare time, part-time, or if I want to transition full-time. That's a win-win situation.
Yes, that was wonderfully said. So it's a win-win situation. And a lot of times here on the Kim Jacobs Show, we're always talking about how you can balance your life so that you can be able to get to the other side of some things that you're dealing with. A lot of times there's circumstances and situations, things that are either forced on us, or even some things are by choice and the outcome wasn't what we expected. But we have people that come here on the Kim Jacobs Show that shares with you how they have overcome to get to the other side of their mountain. So you, Ethan, and Nikki, you get a chance to work collaboratively as husband and wife. And I would love for you to talk about how do you balance being able to be a husband and wife duo in business entrepreneurship?
Absolutely, man. Well, first, I just like to acknowledge, my wife, Nikki, is absolutely amazing. God is faithful. He's blessed me really, really good.
How he done blessed this man of God.
He blessed me really good, really good.
God blessed him with a beautiful,
absolutely.
It's just a wonderful spirit and easy to work with and beautiful and pleasant. Right before the show, everybody, I have to say this because this does not happen, okay? If somebody's not there for whatever the reason, then they just be like, they'll get there when they get there. His wife was in the seat when I was on backstage, and I was like, okay, so this is not Ethan. Are we going live, Nikki? She said, my husband is coming from this appointment, and he will be here in a few months, but I am going to be here until he gets here. She ran and threw some lipstick on and was ready to jump in without a moment's notice to help her husband. And I just want to say kudos because that speaks volumes to the type of work that you all have. So thank you, Nikki.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, she gives me the ability to do, what I do, our industry, for any of those that's in the element of sales, things like that, it's not for the faint of heart. Dealing with people, learning the different ins and outs of things. But she gives me the ability, man, to do what I do, impact the people. She's actually licensed. But a lot of things that she does is behind the scene, but it does not mean it lacks weight or gravity. It's just as important as what I do as the face. She's the neck and the heartbeat, if you will. So, when it comes to the children, the different dynamics, blended dynamics, hey, we describe it at times as just a beautiful mess. It doesn't always, sometimes it's always not perfect, but man, we're a team, we're together, we're locked arm, and I'm just so grateful. And so that's another reason that sort of propels me forward to fight through adversity, to fight through challenge, to fight through the things that come, because she deserves the world, man. And by God's grace, man, we will definitely give it to her.
Awesome. I saw this picture too, and I don't know who this is, but I just wanted to pop it up.
Yeah, so that's my mom. That's my mom there. And my sister, man. My sister.
Is she the one that's 21 years younger?
Say it one more time.
Is she the one that's 21 years younger than you?
Yes. So So it's almost like she's a second daughter, really. That's really how the relationship we have. It's sort of interesting. We have a very stream connection as older brother, little sister, but it's also like a fatherly element. But then also, I can talk to her at a level that you're not able to talk to the average 21, 22-year-old as well, man. And my mom there, that has instilled in us that toughness, that longevity of not giving up, not fainting, and man, that's incredible. I could go on and on about that one, but my dad, of course, he's not in the picture there. He was, we do have some stuff, of course, some pictures, I'm sure. But yeah, man, it's just all a part of the framework that has made me who I am today.
To God be the glory. So working with your spouse in this capacity and balancing business ownership and family and all of the different hats and roles and responsibilities, what advice would you give those that are in business together as husband and wife?
Yeah, we had this dialogue as well, man, because it's always important to fine tune things, man, is making sure that there's a level of balance as much as possible.
I'm gonna put you
Not
on the screen
allowing.
by yourself for a minute. So, oh yeah, no, I said I'm putting you on the screen by yourself for a minute. So keep talking. And
Oh, I got you.
never mind. You like, girl, you come right back on the screen, or it's gonna be like, I ain't saying another word.
But yeah, I was saying, you know. But yeah, man, I think it's just as you're building and everything else, man, you want to want to make sure that you're building with each other as well. And like I said, we've had some dialogues about things as well as you're pursuing in pursuit of building, obviously making sure that you still build that time to do what you do, man, connecting with your spouse and not letting that thing fall to the wayside, date nights and all that good stuff, man. So yeah, man, I think it's imperative that those things are in place. And also when the spouse pulls your collar to say, all right, now, honey, now I'm all for you building, and I know what you're building for us and for the family long term wise. But hey, we're still in the present moment. So I think the biggest thing is don't be so far in your future that you're tripping in your present. And I think it's
that's some good stuff. Don't be so far in the future that you're tripping in the present.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy the present moment,
Yeah.
and that's important. What are some of the things that when people connect with you, that they can be rest assured that they're going to walk away learning and knowing about their financial future? Anything?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is I want people to get a sense of that this is a genuine guy, man. This guy is here to have an extreme and a true interest in them and their families, and that in our industry that may not necessarily in general. Sometimes you can't really get that feel. Is this person out for themselves? Are they out for me? And then really helping people with common sense solutions that this stuff is not as hard to understand as most of us have thought throughout our lives. And most importantly, helping that person to become the better version of themselves. Because I think all those things are intricate. I think, money makes you more of who you already are. It just highlights, it's a highlighter, right? If you're a bad person, man, money makes you as a bad person with money.
Worse.
If you're a genuine person, yeah, exactly, worse. And so those are the things that I want people to get. Hey, this is a safe space. Hey, we're going to do the right thing for you, for your family, help you get to the next level. We're going to provide you with the foundational concepts that you need to improve. And then, by the way, I want to help you to be a better person in the process.
Well, I've already told Ethan this, and I'm sure he's going to be taking advantage of this at some point. But if you're interested in starting your own show from scratch, make sure you know that people are out here searching for you. They want to know more about how they can connect with you in a one-stop shop kind of situation. Yeah. And that way they can connect and find you here for all of the different hats that you wear. Yeah. And I believe personally that we all have gifts and talents that the world is waiting for. It's just a matter of us using these gifts and talents. So I have a virtual class that teaches you how to start your own show from scratch. And the way that it's done is universal. So you'll walk away with audio version of your show, a video version, and a network ready version. So if you are interested and would like to learn more and do the training with a group of 5 students right from the comfort of your own home, you can reach out to me. You can call 704-944-3534 for our next training that's happening. Or you can also email kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. And hopefully you'll be in Ethan's group. Because this information people need to know. So what are some of your other goals and things that you like to see happen in your own journey, especially as you're growing within Primerica as well?
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, man, obviously the ability to run your own deal as a regional vice president in the local community to really impact people more. That certainly obviously is a tremendous goal. But really, man, we want to position ourselves to be more effective, to be more skilled, more proficient, to impact more people. Because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where There's some different stats out there that talks about our net worth dwindling to zero. I believe 2050. All those different stats, different things that the wealth of African Americans been, take almost 200 something years to be able to catch up. I mean, there are just so many like startling stats out there, and my desire is to impact more people, right? Service to many leads to greatness. Jesus talked about that in the scripture, man. And so, we want to impact people more. So my biggest thing is, how can we do that? How can we be more accessible, more available, and most importantly, more relevant to impact more people? Because if we don't get out here and do some fundamental things, and I'm telling you that it's not looking good, but we're up for the task to build an incredible organization so that we can impact more people.
That's really a great goal. And so if you all will definitely connect with Ethan Bost, and you can do that right through his phone number. He's giving you his cell even, so it's not like he's off limits to you. His cell is 704-400-0123. Again, 704-400-0123. And then you can also go to Ethan Bost on all social media platforms, DM or Messenger, LinkedIn, whatever way you can connect with them. And then also visit livemore.net/BOST. And that's going to connect you directly to him. When you do, let him know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you his way. Gabe's Heart Foundation, we're having our annual 5K walk that's happening. And for many of you that may or may not know about Gabe's Heart, it's in honor of my son that transitioned from this earth 9 years ago, Gabriel Michael Jacobs. And he was a force to be reckoned with right here on this earth. 5'10", over, wearing a size 13 grown man shoe. Wow. And so people, when they retired his jersey for the Little League, people think it's an NFL jersey from the Northeast Dolphins. I'm like, no, that's just my child's jersey. But even with his commanding presence, he was known as the anti-bullying mediator at his school and would serve to help people that were struggling to have good relationships. He mediated and helped them become friends. And so we're having our 5K walk on October 19th at 8:00 a.m. right at the Concord, North Carolina, Northwest Cabarrus Middle School track. And it starts at 8 a.m. But if you'd like to come out and commemorate one of your loved ones, we're going to release balloons and different things that we do every year. We'll do some stretching and warming right before the walk. So please come and be a part of it. And you can donate to Gabe's Heart Foundation at $Gabe's Heart, or you can do paypal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation, or even on Givelify, which is Gabe's Heart Foundation. And we are giving a defibrillator away this time. So there's organizations that have applied to be able to receive a Gabe's Heart defibrillator, and it's an expensive device, but that way I believe every single place should be equipped with one of these portable talking defibrillators that walk you through in case there is an emergency on site with something that may be happening. You'll have a device there, and that's going to be given away at the 5K walk this year. So if you haven't registered, it's free. You can go and register for free. Just come out and walk in whatever t-shirts you want. But if you want a t-shirt, then go to GabesHeartFoundation.org. Go ahead and get your t-shirt order. They're $20. And any amount that you donate is a blessing to be able to help with the organization and what we're striving to accomplish. All right. So, Ethan, is there anything that you didn't talk about that you'd like to share with us today that you think, I meant to say this and I didn't say it yet? Talk to us.
Yeah, it's I think we captured, a great deal of things. Oftentimes when we talk about the industry in itself, when it comes to financial education, sales, it's always a big thing. I'm not a salesperson, things like that. We know people are in positions where they're looking to earn some extra income, so the spare time, part-time, things like that. I would just like to dispel the misnomer, as you asked me earlier, how I sort of matriculated into this industry. Again, most people that we talk to, we have teachers, we have pastors, we have, my head coach, Ezel Parker. I would love to The second I'd love to shout out, man, it was a college student and didn't went from a college student, as we say, a broke college student, makes $600 to, becoming a senior vice president, man, retired his wife 5 years ago, 45, and teaching other people how to be successful. And so I think one of the biggest things I would encourage people, if you're at that, you find yourself at that place where you're not satisfied with what you're currently doing, consider, partnering, consider involvement with us, and allowing us to sort of show you through the process and help and walk you through it to get to the next level on a spare time, part-time basis.
So what do you and your spouse do for fun? Because I know you're doing this, and this is fun because you're making money together, and you have a family, blended family, things that you're saying.
Yeah.
And your parents are involved. I got to meet your dad, Mr. Ernest.
Right.
But I definitely think he's a great guy as well. So what do you do for fun to balance out your life?
Man, well, I think one of the things we do, obviously, we spend time with each other, with the kids, of course. And some of the things that's on our list is to, spend a little more time, with doing some things when it comes to, that doesn't involve, the business dynamic, man. But anytime, man, we get a chance just to spend time with each other, we got to steal away and, grab a lunch or, some of those things, man. Because, in between, the blended dynamics, man, hey, we capture times. A lot of our great time that we have to spend is sort of after the children are, in bed and, getting ready. So, man, we just, man,
wait a minute. You started talking about that, and I saw your cheekbones perk up a little bit. You like the little kid I see your back teeth.
No, man.
Keep it clean now. Keep it clean.
Hey, absolutely. Grown folk business.
Yeah, that's grown folk stuff over there. Right? That's funny. That's good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And whenever I think about business and the topic that we had today, which is mindset, melanin, and money, what made you go with that as the whole theory behind this topic today?
Yeah, our mindset is everything, Lady Kim. Our mindset is everything, Pastor Kim, everything. And oftentimes those things are not readily taught, our mentality. Whether it's an abundant consciousness, right? Whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's relational, we have to develop the right consciousness to attract those things into our life. Truth be told, the scripture is very, very prevalent with these concepts. The Tony Robbins, the different ones of the world that have developed phenomenal followings. Guess what? Those are biblical principles, man. Those are kingdom principles.
That's it. Yeah.
That oftentimes people don't use. And so I think having the right mindset, because we've been programmed, right, our entire lives to, in cases, to be who and where we are right now. That's a script that we've learned that somebody taught us, but that doesn't mean that's our reality, right? So mindset, melanin, of course, we know, I love, all of our people. I love everybody, but I am shrouded in melanated skin, right? And so there are some fundamental things that's needed, in our community, and it's really have captivated us as it relates to the different things that we've been up against and providing the necessary solutions to circumvent those things. But we can't say that those things does not center not only around our identity and other things, but it has primarily manifested into how we handle our money. And so it's like all those things are sort of interrelated because, all those 400 years of different things that we've undergone, I think an author talks about a post-traumatic slave disorder, disorder of different things that we've developed over the years. And truth be told, we have to develop the kind of right mentality, and the way we can elevate our people is through, financial literacy and economic empowerment to change things.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Post-traumatic slave disorder. I never.
Yeah, it was an author. And I'm sorry, I didn't get the actual author.
Right. It's Joy DeGruy.
Yes.
I see it here. I like to look stuff up when I
Yeah,
hear.
no, I love that. I love that. I appreciate you for
Yeah.
doing that as
The
well.
post-traumatic slave syndrome, and it
Yeah.
says the theory that explains the etiology of many of the adaptive survival behaviors in African American communities throughout the United States. I didn't even know about
It's heavy, man. I mean, it's things like that, that even when it comes to within a financial construct. One of my colleagues up in Ohio, David DeBerry, has some, provided me some real scholarly articles about how things have been slanted toward our communities when it comes to life insurance. Right? There's certain things that's sold to us as whole life that does not allow us, or these other different products that doesn't allow us to really build wealth for our families.
That's
really, so once we have a chance to sort of read these things,
so you can actually
start reading these things
more to people whenever they connect with you as well, correct?
Absolutely. When it comes to things that we say, we're big about being truthful and not just not just flapping off the gums and just rattling stuff off, but really knowing why you're doing what you're doing. What are we really up against? And these are Wall Street Journal articles, a lot of scholarly articles and things like that. It blew me away when I was exposed to him. I'm like, wow, like really? I called my brother David. I said, bro, I heard you. He was on a platform with my brother with the table. Man, I can't think of his name. It was with anyway. Gosh. Man, I can't think of his name.
I don't know who it is.
I know. I'm sure you probably.
I know you fill in the blank, but I'm like,
man, he was on has a phenomenal following in the industry, in the financial services space, but and he was talking about how these different products were sold and how they don't allow us to build generational wealth. Final expense policies that we just get 10, 15, 20,000, and that's just enough to put us in the ground. But what if I got to build a family of 6, right? What $10,000, $20,000 are going to do, right? And when it comes to being able to set the next generation up, Lee Jenkins talks about this all the time. Lee Jenkins, phenomenal author. He talks about how, as in our communities, when we pass away, we leave nothing to the next generation, right? And we're starting literally at ground zero. And so these are things, man, that we just, oh man, it is so.
I'm looking. I'm like, this is so much that you can't in an hour. It's no way to capture all of this. But if you all connect with Ethan Bost, you're going to obviously, you can get a wealth of knowledge well beyond just your Primerica experience, but ways that he can connect you with a lot of other resources too. Absolutely. So make sure you do reach out to him and connect with him for that gifted free consultation. And if for some reason you have not taken a moment to partner with us, as we attempt very diligently on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, y'all, there are all kinds of shows that come on Monday through Friday. And all of the production is covered and paid for by the networks, right? Well, here on the Kim Jacobs Show, we're bringing you this content every day with phenomenal guests. And we're simply asking that you contribute to our broadcast. And that allows us to keep all of our subscriptions, keep the employees and different people that we have aboard, and have these phenomenal guests at the professional level that you do experience here as we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. So today, I know sometimes you'll be like, okay, I got you, Kim. We got you. Today, take a quick moment and just pour into our broadcast. You can do that through Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc. And you can also go to paypal.me / Kim Jacobs Inc. Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. You can do Zelle. Some people like to just Zelle, and that's 704-962-7161. Or you can even join our membership programs, patreon.com / the Kim Jacobs Show, or motherdreamer.com / join. But take a moment and do that today and pour out. And, sometimes people take pictures. So please get a cute pose, because then you don't want to be on Facebook any old kind of way. So let's see. Seriously, I'm on Facebook any old kind of way. Sometimes when people screenshot, I'm like, don't put me in the Thank you for your willingness to even provide funding for the program. I see a lot of you that are on today, and whether you put a comment or not, I see you, Lisa, I see you, Ernetta, I see you, Carrie Ann, I see you, Erica, I see all of you, Virginia, and I see all of you that are Ella and Sherry and Swaggering and Roberts. I see all of you all. So thank you all so much for being a part of today's conversation. Did anybody have a question? Pop it in the comment section because we're about to end and I don't want you not to have your question answered. So real quick, pop it in there if you have one. And if not, then later people watch the replays too. So Ethan, just check our social media pages and go back and be able to answer their questions as well. Okay.
Absolutely.
The table with Anthony. Oh, the table with
That's
Anthony.
It. The table, Anthony O'Neill. Yes. So my brother I was referencing actually was he and his organization up in Ohio, and he was on the platform and was sharing things about the life insurance and even when it comes to a particular product and how that was sold to our community. And Anthony was like, "Oh my, like I didn't even know this." Like he was blown away, as was I. And I so to the point I had to reach out and say, "Bro, I saw your talk, man. Really, bro?" And he provided me all the articles. I'm talking about they were very, very scholarly articles. I'm actually still unpacking them as we speak. But it's just amazing. And so yeah, we used to have a moral responsibility and an obligation. It's really beyond, when I first started, it was spared, just want to make some extra income.
Right.
And then when you're in it alone, a little bit longer, obviously mastering your craft, it really becomes a passion that you really want to impact people with. So it's amazing.
That's so good, y'all. All right. So listen, I'm going to share this last information in one brief commercial break, and we're going to have a closing comment from Ethan because we started a few minutes later today, but we're going to close out in about less than 4 minutes. I do invite you all to start being a part of our Promise Hour. Promise Fellowship is the name of the church. Promise Hour Bible study. This evening, if you're watching it a replay, it doesn't matter. You can come every Thursday at 7 p.m. virtually. You'll be a part of our Bible study for Promise Hour Bible study. The theme for tonight is Hebrews 11:6, and we're talking about keeping the faith. Just keep the faith. How do we go about having faith in our journey in life? And some of our guest teachers will be Pastor Clarissa Blissett, Evangelist Clara Walton, and Pastor Margaretta Young. So make sure that you are in your virtual seats this evening at 7 p.m. And also know that we are launching our church Promise Fellowship. And God has charged me with this. I will be getting installed as a servant leader with the Church of God in Christ coming up on October 12th. And that's in Raleigh, North Carolina. But our church service, our very first church service, will be October 20th at the Oasis Shriners Building in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 20th at 10 a.m. So I want you to hear this brief commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have a closing comment from Ethan and close out today's episode. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, and I am inviting you to be a part of Promise Fellowship. Our church is at 604 Doug Mays Place, the Oasis Shriners Building, on Sundays at 10 a.m. Now, Promise Fellowship, get your mind right. We're going to have ourselves an epic Jesus experience. We believe that you are to stand on the promises of God. There are over 7,000 promises in the Word of God, and those promises belong to us. So we're standing on the promises of God, and we're fellowshipping together and being able to come together to know how to apply the Word of God to our everyday lives. I am so excited and cannot wait to greet you and meet you in person. There are going to be so many people there to welcome you as well and to just pour that love, the love of God, the love of Christ onto you. We're excited about seeing you Sunday at 10 o'clock a.m. right at the Oasis Shriners Building at 604 Doug Mays Place in Charlotte, North Carolina. Have a great day, and I'll see you Sunday. All right, everybody. So October 20th, make sure you are in the house if you're in the Charlotte area. And obviously, if you're in one of the other countries, you're not going to be right there at the Charlotte location. But we're just honored and excited that to get started with what God has charged me to do. Oh, actually, since 2001. So obedience is so important to be obedient and do it the way God said, do it to you from the beginning. Then you don't have to go back and try and figure it out. Like,
Right.
oh, wait. Anyway, I don't need to talk about it. All right. All right, Ethan, tell us a closing comment. This was a wonderful conversation that I had with you today. Tell us a closing comment.
And first and foremost, thank you so much. Certainly an honor to be able to share. Certainly don't take that lightly. Closing comment, hey, if you're, at a point where, this whole financial world and insurances and all these different things are, hard for you to understand, and you don't know where to start, man, would love the opportunity to give you some basic common sense foundational things to help you and your family build the wealth and, make sure you're protected and all those things, and that you're able to do what you want to do for those you love.
Well, I think that you're so believable. That's what I'll say. There are some people, when you look in their eyes and you can just see right through the virtual screen, that
right.
I feel comfortable with him helping me with my finances because I believe he'll do the right thing. And then having Nikki come and join in on the seat, it was like, that's it. It's a wrap. The two of them together, I'm sure you can't go wrong. So make sure you stay connected with Ethan D. Bost, Regional Director with Primerica. And well beyond just the financial services, just connect with him and see what ways he can connect you to the proper resources to have better money management. His phone number is 704-400-0123. And you can also stay connected with him on all social media platforms at Ethan D. Bost. And go visit livemore.net/Bost. Thank you, everyone. That is our episode today. It has been a tremendous pleasure to serve you and help bring balance to the rest of the world, one household at a time. Thank you, Ethan. You're a great guest.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're awesome.
Make sure you stay backstage if you don't mind. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I love you all. And don't forget to contribute to the Kim Jacobs Show. We talked about it. I want to see it happening. All right. Love you all. Have a great one. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you in